If you are using any of the 4 on-site shopping cart types that come along with ExtendAzon, you're going to see these upsell ads below the shopping cart once somebody actually adds a product to the shopping cart. So a product here has been added, and then these upsell ads show up down below it. Now these upsell ads are directly based on what is actually in the shopping cart at the moment. So every time the shopping cart changes, these upsell ads will also change. Now in the plugin settings, under ExtendAzon and settings, you have a cart upsells tab that actually lets you have some degree of control over what is going to happen here. Now to start with, I want to point out 4 settings. These are kind of right in the middle of this settings page. They all start with the word include. There's 4 of them here, and none of the other settings start with that word. So all the ones that start with the word include, these affect what kinds of ads will be put into that upsell ad placement. You have similar products, similar viewed products, top sellers, and new releases. This would be things like new releases from whatever category that product is in, the top sellers from whatever product that category is in, and then products that are similar to the product that was added, and also products that are commonly viewed for that product that was added to the shopping cart. So each of these settings determines whether or not that kind of advertisement can end up in the upsell ads. Sometimes though, there may not be any ads for a particular type. Like sometimes there may not be any new releases for whatever category there is that product is assigned to. Ultimately though, while this doesn't give you complete control, you do get a little bit of fine-tuning here. If you're going for the best upsell ads in terms of products that are commonly purchased alongside of whatever was put into that shopping cart already, then you may want to disable everything except for this setting, or possibly just the top 2 settings. These would give you products that are pretty close or pretty commonly purchased or viewed alongside of that main product. So as you can see here, my product is the Blue Yeti microphone, and these are both actually accessories for that type of thing, of a windscreen and a pop filter. As I scroll through other stuff, I also have similar types of things. There's really only maybe one item there that I saw that might not really be considered an accessory for the Blue Yeti out of something like 6 products there that I viewed. So you can see how the settings that I have here for the 2 include similar types of products. I have these enabled. That gives me a pretty good type of accessory selection for the upsell ads. If I wanted something more like other popular products that are in that category, that might be more like the top sellers. So if I disable everything except for the top sellers and I refresh my page, then you'll see my ads are completely different. You can see these aren't accessories for this product. These are other popular products that are going to be in that same category as the Blue Yeti. So with these settings, even though they may not look like much, you can actually get some pretty good control over the type of stuff that's going to be displayed. Depending on what you're selecting or the kinds of products you're trying to display, you may also want to modify this top setting, Cart Upsells Header Text. By default, it's set to Other Customers Also Purchased, and you can see that text being shown in the top of the upsell ads section. So if these were other customers commonly purchased or top selling products from the category or something like that, you can label this upsell box so people understand the kinds of ads that they're really looking at here. Or you can leave it generic like I have and just possibly have them all enabled just to have a wide variety of different products that are being shown there. Now, on my screen here, you can see I have all 4 of these include settings currently set to disabled. That means I'm not including any ads in my upsell ad box. When you do that, it actually removes the upsell box. So if for some reason the plugin can't find any upsell ads for whatever you have in your shopping cart, it's just not going to show the box at all. You won't get like a blank box or something like that. If I were to enable one of these settings and Amazon did not have any products or related things in that particular type or category, then it might also still show up blank. Now, at least on some previous attempts, for the Blue Yeti at least, there wasn't anything marked as a new release, at least currently, for the category that it's associated with. So when I have that enabled and refresh my page, you can see there's still no upsell box because there simply were not any ads of that type currently available to be shown. That could change from one product to the next depending on whatever was put into the shopping cart. It might change the parameters that are used to select those ads, but at least for that one product being in there and for the type and the category that it was, there was nothing under new releases. So again, the ad box just simply didn't display. I'm going to put some ads back on this now so I can demonstrate a couple of additional features that come along with these upsell ads. Now you may have noticed the scrolling arrows on the sides. You can click on these to scroll through the ads that are there. I've kind of demonstrated this a little bit for you already. In the plugin settings though, you have 2 particular settings that give you some degree of control over what's going on with those rotating ads. The first thing worth pointing out is you get a choice between automatic and manual ad rotation. Ad rotation right here, you can see it is set to manual. This is the default setting, but there is an auto setting. When it's set to auto, every 5 seconds, a new batch of ads will scroll out of place and new ones will come to take their place. If you hover the mouse over those ads, that scrolling, that auto rotation will stop. So if people are interested in something, they go to start looking at it, it's not going to jump away from them. They can actually sit there and look at it, click on the ad if they want to. They can also still manually rotate through the ads when it is in auto mode. So if they just missed something that scrolled out of view, they can scroll back and go and see what it was. On manual though, it's only going to move the ads when somebody clicks on those arrows. Now with either of these settings, the ad rotation settings, this other setting is also going to be taking effect. This is rotate ad step. This one determines when a scrolling takes place of the ads, how many ads are going to be moved at a time. You can move either 1, 2, or all of the ads at a time. Now it was currently set to 2. The default value is actually 1. All of the on-site shopping cart types show 2 upsell ads at a time except for the dedicated on-site shopping cart page. That will show 5 ads at a time. So when I'm scrolling through and I have an ad step of 2, both of these ads are going to disappear off the page and they're going to get replaced by 2 brand new ads. If I change this ad step, let's say I switch it to 1, now these are only going to move through 1 at a time. I have to refresh my page first. Now when I click, I'm scrolling through slower. I'm only moving 1 product. So 1 product disappears, 1 gets replaced, and 1 is actually staying on the screen and just moving over a little bit. So with that said, the last setting, all, in the case of this particular shopping cart, because there's only 2 ads that are getting displayed, it's going to work just like the setting 2, because there are only 2 ads to be displayed. So that's all. There's 1, 2, and they're all going to scroll. So the reason why there is an all setting and not just a 1 and a 2 setting is because of the on-site shopping cart page. When your cart type is set to the on-site shopping cart page like this, then you're going to get 5 ads down at the bottom. So now when I click on the arrow to scroll, it's going to rotate all of them, which now will be 5. So that's the reason why there's an all setting. So you can rotate 5 ads at a time if you want, but you can leave it on all if you want it to always rotate everything in the current view, no matter what kind of shopping cart you decide to use. So all is a good setting for all of the different cart types, really. Now finally, there are 3 more settings down at the bottom of the cart upsells page. These are all enabled by default. Ultimately, this gives you control over what is taking place in the actual ad for each of these products that are determined to be upsells. For example, link image and title to product page. This is currently set to enabled. What that means is the image here and the link, the text link, when I click on it, it's not going to add this product to my shopping cart. It's actually going to take me to the Amazon product page so I can see more about that product first. When I click on the Add to Cart button though, it will then add that product to my shopping cart. And then my upsell ads are going to change because my shopping cart has changed. So with that said, this setting here, if I did not want people to be able to get to the Amazon product page, if I only wanted this to be functioning within my local shopping cart until they're ready to check out, I could change that top setting. I set that to disabled. Then I go back and refresh the page on my site. So after I have done that, when I click on an image or on a text link now, it's going to add the product to my cart. And the same thing would take place still if I click on the Add to Cart button. That's also going to add the product to my cart. So now there's no way to get to the product page anymore with that setting disabled. Another option here is Show Upsell Product Prices. By default, that's going to be enabled to where each upsell here is going to have a price and also this little price notice that gets displayed with it. This price notice as of a certain date and time is something that Amazon requires all affiliates to have if they are displaying these product prices. They want you to let your visitors know how up to date those prices are, because prices do change on Amazon. Sometimes minute by minute, vendors can be competing with each other and changing the prices on these products. So if for some reason you don't want to show this price notice, the only way to get rid of it is to not show the price either. I disabled that setting on the previous screen. And now after reloading this with that setting disabled, you can see all the prices are gone. Now it's just the image and the text and the Add to Cart button. The final setting that I have access to here is the Show Add to Cart button. If for some reason I didn't want to have that Add to Cart button there, if I just wanted the image and the text, then I can show that. I could have the image and the text and the price if I wanted to. So it's really just all a matter of personal preference. What information you want to be showing up for these various upsell ads can all be controlled by these different settings.